So this park was released about a month ago, so beginning of March. It received the Spotlight accolade, Flash, and scored exactly an 85.0. Yes, it was March 16th, 15th, my bad. 85 exactly. Pretty consistent voting, actually, only 15% dispersion, really only 10% dispersion, other than the one vote. Interesting, everything was between 90 and 80. Um, and it's a recreation that should be mentioned of, I believe the park is in Sweden. Oh my god. Yes, it is in Sweden. Okay, I didn't embarrass myself there. But I don't know. I mean, I've kind of already kind of reviewed a lot of this, but excuse me. I think this park is great for the content that it has and the amount of stuff that there is. At times it feels a little bit messy, although I guess that can be blamed on the source material in many cases. Like what? What? Truck's a little bit large, perhaps, but actually, I mean, the thing is with this as well is I think the builder also improved dramatically as time went on, so some of this feels really dated. More so, I think it's kind of limited in most, but some of this feels kind of like this. These large, like super large roofs, for some reason, just feel kind of dated. I'm not a very big fan of this layout either at all. This whole kind of, I don't know, this whole kind of corner, I'm not the biggest fan of. And the flat's really nice. Stuff like this I really like these little kind of shops and areas that are trying to set away. Yeah, you like it because you're weird though, so. And these facades are really awesome. I think you actually showed, this was like one of the first screens you showed. Definitely improved quite a bit. But I don't understand these buildings like at all. Like what? I don't understand parks like this. Like, what are people parking to do? Like, are they gonna enter the park through this? It's just like an entrance, I guess. I don't know. These real peeps, wow, amazing. A lot of peeps in this park. It's like 4,000. That's pretty good. There's others like a million rides. So, oh my god, look, name stalls. For some of these are closed or not. I don't know. I mean, the architecture is really cool. It feels pretty unique. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I don't know if anybody's ever put this kind of style into one park before, which is why it feels unique. I don't know. As cool as Helix is in real life, I'm not the biggest fan of it here. I think the landscaping is a little bit, probably, I think most people would agree that the landscaping is this most underwhelming aspect of the park, especially the underbrush. I kind of think it hurts the aesthetic of the hill a little bit, but it's a pretty tough task to conquer, I should say, as well. Landscaping such a large area that's in real life nothing but trees, and also having to deal with an object limit. Um, but yeah, I mean, everything in the park is really well made. I don't know much about the real park, except for some bits. No, I won't talk about that anymore, but except for some bits I think are really well made. Maybe like it's too compact for me in some areas, but although I guess the real park is kind of like this. It's like one tile wide pass. I don't know. I mean, it's Europe. Is Liseberg independently owned? Let's see. Gothenburg municipality. It's located by this. It's owned by the city of Gothenburg. Gothenburg. So, I mean, the layout. I mean, I don't have any problem. I mean, it's a real park, so I don't think that's something you can complain about, unless you're trying to make a joke. In which case, I don't understand what's funny. I mean, I don't know. He looks kind of weird. I don't think the style translates well into RCT. I mean, these gray buildings are kind of odd to look at. I mean, this drop, like, what the hell? This park is so bizarre. Like, this drop tower station is, like, massive. Oh my god. I'm not the biggest fan of Blighter, or sorry, I should say Helix's College, but that's not any fault in the builder. You can't even see it. Color it red, that's how you color coasters. Color it red, and there you go. Everything has to be red. Look at that. Totally out of place. This Ferris wheel is really good, although it's very similar to the one that Six Flags Park that was released after this, although I know this Ferris wheel was built before, so I don't know. It's fine. I don't really have a problem with that. This, like, what? Is this like a museum? Universium? I don't know. This is actually a really cool forced perspective. Not forced perspective, but perspective-based mural. It's really cool. I do like all the little tiny like entrances and like less visited, less traveled aspects of these parks. I think are really cool. Like all these buildings on the side that nobody really notices in real life, but they're still putting detail. I mean, like this, there's so much stuff that you will notice even if you look at the park for a half hour, 45 minutes. These two buildings I'm not the biggest fan of. I don't think they fit that well, but I mean, that could be criticizing the real park, which you can't do, so. There's maybe like touch too much salmon color in this corner. I mean, I don't know the real life it's all the same, but maybe touch too much salmon. This circular building's kind of cool for backstage. I do like though. It actually puts effort into his backstage areas and makes them I mean, not to make them the focus, but puts them there and makes them look nice and fitting in the park, which I think a lot of people who would recreate this park, I feel like would completely ignore that kind of stuff and ignore backstage. I think it adds some nice detail and fills in some areas that normally wouldn't be anything other than landscape or trees. Like this kind of stuff is really cool. Little like parks, I guess. tram system as well. This building's is awesome. I like the use of the unique objects. I don't know. It's kind of a hard part to go into all the details about. I mean, it's impossible to talk about everything. But it's definitely worth checking out, I'd say. I don't know. I think the problem that I would have with this park is that I think people look past the fact that it's recreation because it's, I guess, a unique park, and so I don't know. It's if recreation is not going to be 100% accurate, but interesting, should you also value? I mean, there's a million recreations that are perfectly accurate but aren't 100% interesting. Should you value the thing that's more interesting in RCT but not as accurate? Or should you value the thing that's more accurate but less interesting? I don't know. I mean, because doing a recreation, I mean, none of this stuff is really. I mean, it's creative in the sense you have to build an RCT, but you don't have to plan and decide where you're going to place buildings in the same sense you would with 100% from fiction park. I think it makes the process quite a bit easier and harder in a way. Recreations aren't easy by any means if you're going for 100% accuracy. I think, I mean, obviously with RC there's some window that you have to kind of give up and accept the fact that it's a game and can't really do anything about. But one thing I don't really like all these buildings on the outside. They're like one tile. I mean, it's like what kind of thing with Baker Lake in a way is that when you were struggling for objects. Hello. I mean, I'm not going to score the park any higher because you have nice facades around the outside. You just cut it off like one tile sooner. Just have the sidewalks and put all these objects back into the park. Improve things like the landscaping and foliage. Maybe some of these older areas as well. And especially like these buildings, I mean, they're really nice, yeah. But I'd like to be able to see the entrance. I mean, there. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. This is kind of me, though. And as well, I mean, you could have black tiled. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it would be more. If I'd prefer to have these facades or black tiles. But I'm sure other people. There's a million different opinions out there, so I can understand that comparison as well. Although I mean, I do really like black tiling. I think it makes it look a lot nicer when you look around the edges, but I'd be choosing a different, like, neutral texture as well. It's kind of weird how that's not changing color. Okay. I don't know. Just kind of suggestions, I guess. And this is a great, like, this is how I would want to see the park when I open it. This angle right here, but the buildings kind of block it, so I mean, yeah. It's fine, don't worry, it's fine. Yeah. Lots of cool stuff. This is very weird. Lots of cool stuff. Okay. So that was Liseberg.